So I had this really cool conversation with my midwife, Mary, the other day that I think has really opened my eyes to a new way of looking at things. Okay. I was telling her about how Jason and Lucy and I had just gotten back from San Diego and we had gone to SeaWorld and we got a chance to go to the dolphin show, okay? And this is like the big dolphin show that it has like 10 dolphins and a whale and acrobats and music and, the whole 9 yards, birds flying from one end to the other. It was amazing. And, it was really cool having Lucy there on my lap and just seeing the show. I was joking with Mary that I was like moved to tears. And the reason I brought this up to her is because I'm like, I don't think that any other time in my life I probably would have cried happily at the dolphin show. But being pregnant, there's something about that like crazy pregnant lady that, cries at everything. And I was that lady at the show. And I told Jason later, I'm like, I like was moved to tears. And he's like, what? You were? And I was laughing too. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, it's just this pregnant thing. So as I was talking to Mary about it, she had a really neat twist on what had happened there. And she's like, well, what happened is that, basically pregnant women are more in touch with their emotions and the hormones or maybe just the act of being part of a co-creator of life here, housing this growing being. Our emotions are very raw, which is not a surprise to anyone who's ever met a pregnant woman, um, but in light of adultitis and everyone else, she's like, what's really neat about it is she's like, everyone in society, everyone has to put up filters in their life to be able to get things done because there's so many distractions and there's so many beautiful things out there in the world, just in nature and in relationships. And if we were actually absorbing the emotion of that beauty to its purest form, kind of like pregnancy, requires of us, then we would never get anything done. Like we have to put up filters to actually be productive human beings. And she was like, so Jason and I were talking about later, and I'm like, that's how kids are, right? Like try to walk around the block with a kid, and it'll take you forever because they have to stop and enjoy all the little things they see along the way. Whereas adults were very happy to just ignore all of it and be in our own heads and miss all the beauty around us. So it's kind of a neat empowerment for pregnant women, but also at the same time, I think it kind of challenges all the non-pregnant people to kind of break down some of those filters. And I think it's a conscious thing. You cannot just simply enjoy the beauty unless you're, forcing yourself to be on vacation or taking a trip to Hawaii or that sort of thing, and totally removing yourself from the filters of day-to-day life. But you can consciously look for the beauty, and that pure joy that you'll find is something that is pretty magical and something that is contagious. And as Mary said, she's like, if we all had that quality, these superpowers that us pregnant women have, then basically we wouldn't need like all these forms of entertainment that we fill our lives with, cable TV and video games and new systems and cars and fancy things that, keep us entertained. She's like, we would just be able to be in nature and be with one another and enjoy the pure beauty that it truly is for the sake of that beauty. So that's what I challenge you to do this week, and myself as well, is to just kind of get in touch with the pure beauty that's around you and to remove those filters, remove the scales from your eyes, look with new eyes like a little child does, and enjoy what you see.